Okay, good morning, everybody. I think we'll make a start because we've got a really busy morning and I know that people are going to start leaving for the airport. So this morning we've just going to take some time to talk a little bit about GHRSST priorities. I've got a few introductory slides just to introduce the discussion and also to go over a little bit of the discussions that we've had in past years. As you would have seen from the agenda and the messages that Chiara has sent round, there is a Miro board prepared for this discussion, which I haven't displayed actually, but maybe Chiara can have that ready in the background. You're free to add your comments at any point. So if you want to just open it up in the agenda on your computers now, for those especially not in the panel and those online, you can do that and just feel free to add your thoughts as you wish, and it'll be a nice collation. Thank you, Chiara, of the discussion today. It also means that everybody's free to contribute very easily. There will be an open Q&A after the panelists have had their say, but it means that all of you can contribute as you wish. So yes, you can see that it's organized into some different themes. Focusing on high latitudes, microwave SSD applications, open science. I think we have, the feature resolution and coasts. And of course, if there's any other thoughts that you have as well, please just add them. Okay, so if we go back to the presentation. So we started these sort of series of discussions, when we had to move to online meetings a couple of years ago. So I just want to go over them a little bit, just to remind ourselves of what we thought at the time. And a lot of these were building on the Ocean Ops paper from 2019. So back in 2021, the really key outcomes were that there needs to be evolutions at high latitudes, sea ice and coastal products. An evolution in the SSES and observational uncertainties. And I think, we know that we need to provide more information on SSES on the web pages, but also perhaps update the GDS for a total standard uncertainty. I think that's coming through now. For new operational streams, they should be in parallel for at least 3 months. The coordination on direct assimilation with NWP centres. So that's was something that we started discussing more with some of the NWP centres a few years ago, and I've also got some updates from ECMWF, which I'll go through a little bit later. Develop AI and machine learning methods. GDS should be cloud ready and engage with cloud services, and there should be new user guides and open access tools. The following year, there are some repeat statements in this. Focus on very high resolution SST observations in coastal regions. So we had a session on that yesterday. Strive for calibration and algorithm improvements at coasts in the Arctic. Consistency between sea ice concentration and SST for level 2, level 4 and infrared and microwave. Incorporate sea ice surface temperature and SST in the products as the same domain. Facilitate evolutions with the data catalogue and formats as access and use of large satellite data sets changes. Expand user and application examples on how to use GHRSST data. So there's lots of progress on all of these aspects already. This was just to illustrate the Miro boards, which we've already seen, so I won't focus on those, but please, do add your comments. Just to focus on some very recent progress. As has been presented this week, the GHRSST catalogue is now implemented and published. There still continues to be populated for some records, but it's already there. We had a really productive and useful session yesterday on high resolution SST missions addressing coasts and feature resolution. I think we'll come back to this point this morning also with Emmanuelle. For user information and communications, there's been progress on that. Chiara's been organising some really nice events, including GHRSST Talks, working on the mentorship programme, the newsletters, also providing all the information for the past GHRSST meetings, and Erica's also been working on all those aspects, and I think that's been a really, really good activities for GHRSST to do. There's also been all the participation in the in various other conferences and capacity building events, and next year for GHRSST 25, this will increase with a various roadshow of GHRSST 25 activities. So this slide just summarises the current task teams. There's so much activity in those, it's difficult to summarise. So I've picked a few things out, but it's by no means complete. But it's just to show that a lot of work is done within these task teams, and that should continue. These are opportunities for productive work with a close-knit group of experts. We're going to have an exciting few years ahead. There are many launches on the way, many kind of filling in gaps in the constellation, continuity and evolutions in technology and capability. So we need to address those within GHRSST. And here are just some thoughts that I had for myself for the discussion today. Yeah, there's already been some discussions this week on the cloud evolutions, what needs to be done there, how does GHRSST engage with that? Yeah, the high latitudes and the sea ice, that's really one area we need to kind of draw an action out of that and choose a direction. Identify preparations and synergies from upcoming new missions. I just sort of mentioned that. Revise the information on the SSES bias and standard deviation, provide validation information, validation protocols and documents, strengthen and develop observational uncertainties. I think one strong way forward could be the provision of a total standard uncertainty in the GDS. Options for mode discontinuity. There was a session on that earlier in the week. Marine heat waves. We've also been discussing that this week. How do we communicate the global SST anomalies and trends? And more CalVal and fiducial reference measurements should continue at high latitudes.